Now we're going to be taking a look at the 808 bass. So we're going to be using the solid EQ, the Vari Comp, and also we're going to add the enhanced EQ. Now I like to get my plugins set up a lot of the time prior to using them. Hopefully that makes your lives easier at home as well. So we can close all of those and I'll walk you through what they are. We already know the solid EQ. I'm going to keep it on E, but we can switch between G and E and see if we like the settings in either one a little bit more. I love that you can do that so quickly with this EQ. Let's have a listen to it in context, match the levels, and then see what we need to take out or add.
And you didn't know what to ask, and you still couldn't reach the heart. And you didn't know what to ask, so why even bother? Despite all good intentions, all is turned to ruins. But your fire never dies, still it's flickering now. And you didn't know what to ask, and you still couldn't reach the heart.
I like that kind of low mid-range there. I think that sounds really good. Definitely gives it a bit more presence. Now let's pull that down ever so slightly. And what I'm also going to do is take out some of the kind of mids, high mids here. And just that's because where the vocal's sitting and I don't want it to interfere with that too much. I'm also going to take down the low frequencies ever so slightly. I'm going to add them back later with the enhanced EQ and I'll explain why. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to the Vari Comp. I'm really just using this compressor because of the tube vibe that it adds. It kind of warms things up a little bit. I think the bass sounds good already. I just like the way Vari Comp compressors sound on basses. The Vari MU kind of tube format, it's slow. It hasn't got that much kind of modern punch to it. So it just tends to kind of fit nicely as a bit of character rather than actual compression. Let's have a listen. Let's reduce the input. I'm really not looking for a lot of compression here. Again, I just want the flavor. Not only does it kind of soften it and give it this warmth, but it pushes those kind of lower mid frequencies a little bit harder, which I really like. And this is a trick that I always use on any kind of bass. It doesn't work all the time, but I would say that 80 to 90% of the time, it just makes it sound really, really tasty. Let's have a quick listen before and after. Really nice. Okay, now let's go for the enhanced EQ. And what we'll do is let's add a little bit at 30. So we'll add some of those low frequencies back, but we'll cut as well at the same time. So to make sure we're not getting any muddiness. And we'll start with that. I don't think we'll need the rest, but let's see. So the enhanced EQ is a tube EQ, and I cut out some of the low frequencies or brought them down with a shelf before with the solid EQ so I could boost them with this one because, again, it's just got a little bit more flavor. So let's see where we started. Let's match it to everything that we have. Let's also check those levels. So without everything, and then with. So we can actually go up a couple of dB there. A little bit too much. Before. Just sounds like a bit muddy there, whereas this feels a bit kind of warmer, a bit more analog. Let's balance it against everything, and then I'm also going to add a bit of sidechain to the kick.
And you didn't know what to ask, and you still couldn't reach the heart. And you didn't know what to ask, so why even bother? Despite all good intentions.
So in order to add sidechain, what we're going to do is go down to Dynamics, Compressor, Stereo. Now we'll feed the kick into here, so we'll find it's kick 4. And then we'll do fast attack. Do kind of short, kind of medium release, ratio all the way up. If you can change the detection, which sometimes isn't available depending on what you're using. So the circuit will change that. And of course, it doesn't matter too much, but RMS tends to have less click than peak. So Studio VCA doesn't have that option, so it doesn't really matter, but something to listen out for. If you are getting a lot of clicking from the sidechain, then you may want to consider using a different circuit. And we're just going to pull the threshold down, and that will dictate how much the bass ducks every time the kick plays.
And you didn't know what to ask, and you still couldn't reach the heart. And you didn't know what to ask, so why even bother? Despite all good intentions, all is turned to ruins, but your fire never dies. Still it's flickering now.
Now that just makes a little bit more space for these two individual parts. Also adds a little bit more groove, if you ask me. So let's do a quick before and after again, whilst playing everything else with the bass, everything on and off.
And you didn't know what to ask, and you still couldn't reach the heart. And you didn't know what to ask, so why even bother? Despite all good intentions, all is turned to ruins, but your fire never dies. Still it's flickering now.
So I really like the effect that that's having. And in the next video, we're going to take a look at some of these instruments down here. Again, we're going to include some compression, some EQ, and work out which sounds best on what.